something, and then we'll start. Derps. Place. Place. Derby, place. Place. Derby, place. Place. Good boy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Meet the Dog. I'm Chris, and with me today is Derby. Derby is from the Poppins litter. His parents are, of course, Trip and Capri. He just turned a year old this month, so happy birthday, Derby. He is weighing in at just a hair under 125 pounds. He's eating 3 times a day, going through a bit of a growth spurt, so we got him back on lunches. He's doing very well in his training. Like most of his siblings, a lot of the things that he needs work on are just a lot of maturity-related things, like the focus and head swivel, stuff like that. Nothing too serious that he needs work on. A lot of polishing up and maturing. But he's doing very well otherwise. Let's see. Yes, good boy. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you by doing that. Derby looks just like his Uncle Rambo. Acts just like him too. His Uncle Rambo was a bit of a barker when he was here, and Derby is just like his uncle, a bit of a barker. He's a very sweet boy. Very well behaved most of the time. And we all love him very much. I'm going to open it up to some questions about Mr. Derby. Hi. Hi, yes. Hello. How are you doing? You a good boy? You a good boy? Huh? Good boy. Let's see if we got any questions about you yet, huh? Any questions about Derby? Brush the page. Ah, there we go. Bart V asked, does Derby ever get into any mischief? Yes. Yes, as I mentioned, he is quite the barker. He tends to be one of the ones that sits off the rest of his siblings with the barking. Doesn't get along super well with his brother, so sometimes they take little jabs at each other through the fence. They'll bark at each other a lot, chase each other up and down. Sometimes it's play, sometimes it's getting a little iffy with each other. So he does get into his fair share of mischief. He's a very good boy otherwise, though. He's a little mischievous, but he's still a puppy, so, you know. He's got a lot of he needs to work through. Hi. Hi. Yes, are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? You are a good boy when you sleep. Crafty asks, how is he on outings and overnights? I've heard. So I think the only time he's gone for an overnight is when he got neutered. And I believe he did pretty well with that. He was a little nervous, understandably. but it sounds like overall he did pretty well. Outings also does very well. As I mentioned before, he's doing very well in his training. I haven't heard any issues, really. I feel like it's really just a lot of maturing he needs to do. But it seems like he's getting all his commands down. When we were walking over here, his pace was pretty good. He tried pulling a couple times, but we got him corrected, and he was walking pretty good otherwise. So on outings, it seems like he does pretty well. Yeah? Yeah? Hi. Yeah. I know, it's been a while since you've been in here, huh? Oh, hold on. I gotta go turn off the radio real quick. Be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Hopefully that fixes the problem. So much for that. Let's get back to the questions. Barbie asked, what makes Derby most happy? Y'all mind? Thank you. Barbie asked, what makes Derby most happy? Food. Food makes Derby most happy. He is a big eater. Loves to chow down. So I would say food makes him the most happy. Just peek their head. Someone just peek their head in. Ow. Good boy. You good boy. You good boy. Barbie asked, what 3 words best describe him? Loud, hungry, cuddly are the 3 words that I would use to describe Derby. Ain't that right, buddy? Crafty asks, who are his best friends? I think he gets along the best with, I would say, probably Jet and Sugar. I think would be the 2 that he typically plays with the best. Jet and Sugar. Though he does very well with Winnie, Poppins, and Pearly all the same. Barbie asks, does he have any quirky habits? Let's see. You know, they're all little weird little pups. I think for him, it's mostly the barking, I would say. They are a very talkative litter. As I mentioned, he is probably one of the most talkative of them. I'm trying to think, does he have anything particularly quirky he does? Him and his brothers are very, they're very food motivated, and they really whine a lot when it comes to feeding. I think I've mentioned this when I've had Banks on and Bert on, but they do a lot of whining when it comes to food. Almost as bad as Sloan. Sloan used to be my nightmare when feeding. He sounded like he was dying all the time. They are almost as bad as him. Not quite. I'm going to give it a few more minutes for any last minute questions. last minute questions about Mr. Derby. Yes, hi. I'm so glad that you finally laid down at the very end of this. Barbie asked, does Derby bark at the little pups? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. A lot. I don't think he's trying to be aggressive towards them. I think it's a lot of excitement and also trying to just kind of be the boss, trying to be the older dog. He does bark at them quite a bit, though. They have started playing along the fence, though, with the older dogs. So I think he's just getting used to them. But I also think he's trying to assert himself as the oldest, because a fun fact about Derby was that back when the Poppins were all still together, he was kind of the one that ended up getting picked on a lot. He was getting picked on a lot. Back when we were still having them play all together, like maybe not all 10 at once, but we would be doing like 5 at a time. And he was the one that kept on getting picked on. They kept on ganging up on him, and that's actually because they were ganging up on him why we ended up finally separating a lot of them. Because we had been doing very well for a while with keeping them together, even all 10 at once. But they had eventually, a lot of them started ganging up on him, especially Dawes. Dawes really had it out for him. Not like aggressively, he wasn't like attacking Derby, but he was really like bullying him. So I think he's trying to just assert himself now. I have 2 more questions, and these will be the last 2. Crafty asks, what are his favorite treats and meals? Anything he can get his mouth on. Anything he can get his mouth on. He will eat pretty much anything. So I don't know if he has a favorite or if he just loves everything. But he will certainly eat everything he can get his mouth on. And then another one from Crafty, what kind of recipient do you think he would bond with best? That's a good question. A second. I think he's going to be pretty big. I think all the Poppins boys are going to be pretty big, so we might want someone on the taller side for him. So that, I don't know how he will do, because I've never taken him home. I don't know how he is in a home, if he's a bit more relaxed at home. But otherwise, he might be, if he's a bit rambunctious, we might need someone with a bit more of a active lifestyle to burn some energy for him. But I think he's going to be a pretty big guy, so I think we might want someone on the taller side for him. Personality-wise, though, I think he'll get along with pretty much anyone. I think he'll bond with probably anyone we put him with, because he is a very sweet dog. He's very loving. He loves people. He's a bit nervous with new people, but he does warm up pretty well. So I think it's really going to depend on how much growing he's going to do between now and when he goes out. Because if he stays around this side, he could probably have a pretty wide range of recipients he could go to. But if he gets much bigger, if he gets as big as his uncles, Rambo, Keiko, Turby, then we're probably going to want to put him with someone a bit taller. All right, that's all the time we got. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Sorry if the audio cut out a bit because of the radio being in. Next time I'll make sure to turn that off before coming in. I wasn't sure if it was picking up or not. But, yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. And next week we'll be back with another dog. Until then, take care. Alright. You ready, bud? No, you're all nice and cozy now. And now I gotta make you get up. Why do you guys always settle down as we're about to go.